Lesson 5 is using nets to find surface area. Example 1, find the surface area of the rectangular prism below. So you can see on the left a three-dimensional rectangular prism. Each of its faces are made up of rectangles and its dimensions are labeled. As we unfold that rectangular prism, we have something called its net, the net of the rectangular prism. It basically shows what each of the faces are. And so if we can then match up our dimensions on our rectangular prism with the dimensions on our faces, we can then find the area of the surfaces or faces and then add those surfaces together to figure out the full surface area of the rectangular prism. We're going to go ahead and do that. And so I'm going to go ahead and do some labeling on my net to help me. I'm going to count right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can see that there's our 6 units. And so I might as well go ahead and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can see that there's the 7 units. And we have one more dimension here, 3 units. And let's go ahead and count 1, 2, 3. There's our 3 units. And so basically we can also see that some of these faces match up. You can see that the top matches up with the bottom. So once I find the area of the top, I will also know the area of the bottom of my rectangular prism. And you can also see the sides. And so once I find the area of one of the sides, I'll know the area of the other side. And also, you can also tell that the front and the back also line up. And let's just go ahead and show those. Okay, and so I'm going to go ahead and use the dimensions and start this. So for the top and the bottom, we have the area is base times height. The area equals 6 times 7. And so the area is 42 units squared for the top and the bottom. And I am going to go ahead and erase some of this, and I'm going to go ahead and, I like to label those faces on my net to help me when I'm ready to figure out the full surface area. So there's 42 and 42. Now I'm going to go ahead and do that with the sides, the side dimensions. And again, one other dimension we may want to be careful of is the side. We can see right here now that the height is 3, but let's find out what the base, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The base length is 6, so basically let's go ahead and find the area of the side. We're going to use base times height, and we're going to use the 6 times the 3, and so we know that both of the sides are 18 units. And I'm going to go ahead and write that in there. And now all that's left is to find the front and the back of our rectangular prism. We need to figure out what the area is for those 2 faces, and then we will have all the information we need. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I have the correct dimensions. And so, as you can see, we know that the height is 3 units, and we know that the base is 7 units. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply 3 times 7, or base times height. And we get 21 units squared. And we can go ahead and label those 21 and 21. Okay, boys and girls, so now we are ready to find out the full surface area of our rectangular prism. I'm going to go way up here because I'm running out of room. And let's see what our surface area will be in total. So my top and bottom are both 42. So we have 42 times 2, which is 84 units squared. That takes care of the top and the bottom. Excuse me. Okay. And then we have our two sides that are 18. So 2 of those are worth 36 units squared. And then we have our front, which is the same as our back, and those are both 21. So we have 21 times 2, which is 42 units squared. And now all we have to do is add up these three numbers and we will have our surface area. And as we add them up, we can see that this adds up to 162 units squared. And so now you know how to use a net to help us find the surface area of this rectangular prism.
Example number 2, find the surface area of the square pyramid below. First off, a square pyramid is a three-dimensional shape that has a square as the base, as you can see right here, and it has 4 congruent triangles. This shape to our right is the net of the square pyramid to our left. So you can see that our square, each side is 8 units long. That makes the base of the triangle equal to 8. If you were to take a look at the height here of each triangle, the height of each triangle would be 6 units. And you can see that on our three-dimensional shape to our left. So if we know that a square pyramid is made up of 4 congruent triangles in one square, then we can just find the area of all 5 of those sides, add them together, and we'll get our surface area. So first things first, the area of one triangle is 1/2 base times height. If I know that's the case, then I know that the base of one triangle is equivalent to 8, and then the height is equal to 6 units. So area is equal to 1/2 times 8 is 4. 4 times 6 is 24 units squared. Now, this is only one of the triangles. You can see from our net and from our three-dimensional shape that we have 4 of these. So let's multiply the area of one triangle times 4, and we end up getting 96 units squared. Now, we're not done yet. We still have to do the area of the square. We still have to find the area of that square. So we know that the area of a square is either base times height or side squared. Right? The base, in this case, of our square is 8. Also, our height is 8. So 8 times 8 is 64 units squared. Lastly, what we have to do is take the area of our 4 triangles and the area of our square, add them together. 96 plus 64, we end up getting 160. So the entire surface area is equal to 160 units squared.